From wearing girls' dresses to becoming one of the biggest evil scientists in the entire world, Doofenshmirtz was almost always played for laughs. But behind every ridiculous invention, this guy had a childhood full of pain and some of the weirdest trauma Disney ever aired. Doofenshmirtz's early life was a bit traumatic, with stories that are very heart-touching. He was born in the cold, gray country of Drusselstein and was ignored by his parents. His father was distant and cold, and his mother rarely acknowledged him. He lost all of the trust of his father when he was still a kid in Gimmelshtump. Heinz was expected to jump off the high dive. It was a big tradition, seen as the way to prove you were a real man. But Heinz was too scared. Everyone watched and laughed when he froze. He didn't jump, and because of that, he was called a Schnitzel.
Das Kind ist ein Schnitzel!
His parents were ashamed, and his father even said that he has no son. Still as a boy, his mother had been expecting a baby girl. She spent months lovingly sewing tiny, beautiful dresses in anticipation. But when the baby was born, it turned out to be a boy. Unfortunately, the family had already used up all their material, and there was no time or money to start over. So for the entire year of school, he had to wear those same dresses, and all of his classmates didn't understand.
For an entire year, drawing mockery and scorn from all of my manly classmates.
Somehow, he still wanted to earn his mother's affection, so he came up with a plan. He saved every bit of his allowance for an entire year, and when the year was up, he took all that money and went to a park. There was a carnival game there, the kind with rigged odds and flashy prizes. But Doof had only one thing in mind: to win a beautiful stuffed animal for his mother. He focused harder than he ever had before. It took all his concentration, but somehow he actually won. Proudly, he took the stuffed animal and went straight home. He handed it to his mother, hoping this would be the moment she smiled at him. Instead, she gave it to his brother Roger. Just like that, all of Doof's effort, all that hope, was taken away. Another crazy story is when Doof was forced to stand outside their house dressed as a gnome, replacing a broken lawn gnome because they were so poor. He had to stay completely still and do this for years, through all kinds of weather. This humiliating experience led to a lifelong hatred of gnomes and a deep sense of neglect. Doof's only childhood friend was a balloon named Balloony. They were inseparable until Balloony floated away during an unfortunate night. Balloony started floating away, and Heinz, not being allowed to move, had no way of saving him and couldn't help but watch his dearest. Later in the series, he finds Balloony again in a twisted yet touching reunion.
Just ignore me. I'll show myself.
No, that's where I keep...
It's you! Balloony!
Hey, that's the most unique creature in my collection. Colin, my best friend.
What? That's Balloony, my best friend!
No, I found Colin just...
In one version of his backstory, Doof claims he was abandoned and raised by ocelots. Doof says the ocelots took him in. He crawled with them, hunted like them, and learned their ways. For a time, they were the only family he had. He even believed he was one of them.
Another backstory that... Basically, my parents disowned me. I was being raised by ocelots.
Eventually, he was found and brought back to civilization, but it was too late. He didn't fit in anymore. All of the things that he had passed as a child just make us realize that he wasn't born evil. He was built that way, one heartbreak at a time. He learned that no matter how hard he tried, he would never be good enough. Never the favorite, never the hero. The world laughed at him, forgot him, or simply looked away. So Heinz stopped trying to be loved and started trying to be noticed. All of this built the foundation for his evil ambitions. Heinz didn't get much love growing up. His father was strict and distant, and his mother barely noticed him. Things only got worse when his younger brother Roger was born. Roger quickly became their mother's favorite, while Heinz was stuck being dressed like a lawn gnome. Roger was the golden child, well-behaved, popular, and always praised. Even though Roger seems to enjoy being the favorite and sometimes watches Heinz get embarrassed, he actually cares about his brother. In one episode, Heinz painted something beautiful, but Roger accidentally ruined it. Feeling guilty, Roger used city funds to recreate it, just to make Heinz feel better. Unfortunately, Heinz destroyed the new painting in an attempt to get revenge.
But today, I will finally get my revenge! You see, my brother, the Honorable Mayor Roger Doofenshmirtz, will be unveiling a new piece of art for the lobby of City Hall.
So while the two have a messy relationship, it's clear Roger doesn't truly hate Heinz. He just doesn't agree with his villain side.
Right into her heart. Ladies and gentlemen!
Doof's strange friendship-enemy dynamic with Perry the Platypus.
What kind of a plumber are you? A platypus plumber? Perry the platypus plumber? Perry! Perry the Platypus!
Doofenshmirtz and Perry the Platypus don't have a typical villain-hero relationship. They call each other enemies, but most of the time they act more like old friends. Their bond feels a lot like a dysfunctional friendship or even a weird marriage. Heinz clearly respects Perry. He once described him as a suave, semi-aquatic personification of unstoppable dynamic fury. Over time, he's called Perry his best friend.
It's clear to me now that my real best friend is Perry the Platypus.
Part of the family, and even his frenemy. In one episode, when Doof gets a new nemesis, Perry is left heartbroken. He misses their daily battles so much that he quits the agency. Doof claims he doesn't care, but he clearly does. He even goes on a talk show with Perry and the new nemesis to fix things. In the end, he apologizes, and Perry puts his hat back on. Just like that, their rivalry is back, and so is their strange friendship.
What do you say?
Well, what do you say, Perry the Platypus?
Dr. Doofenshmirtz might call himself a villain, but most of the people around him don't really treat him like one. Over time, he builds some surprisingly close and strange connections, not just with Perry, but with a whole cast of side characters. First up is Norm the robot. Norm was supposed to be a scary robot henchman, but he turned out to be more like a giant, cheerful assistant. He's polite, helpful, and way too friendly to be evil. Still, Doof keeps him around, and even seems to enjoy his company.
Known as High School, leading to one of the most embarrassing viral videos of all time.
Then there's Major Monogram. As the head of OWCA, Monogram should see Doof as a major threat, but he usually just treats him like a minor annoyance. Their interactions are weirdly civil, and sometimes even professional. When bigger problems show up, they've been known to work on the same side. And we can't forget Carl the intern. Carl doesn't face Doof often, but when he does, it's more awkward than dramatic. He doesn't seem scared of him, just slightly confused. Doof, in return, treats Carl more like a background character than a real threat. Doofenshmirtz can definitely be evil, but sometimes he's actually weirdly relatable. Doofenshmirtz really loves his daughter Vanessa, but he doesn't always know how to show it. He wants to impress her, especially by proving he's a real villain, but his plans usually just embarrass her. Vanessa is calm, cool, and way more mature than her dad, so she often gets annoyed with his dramatic behavior. I'm gonna show you some moments that Dr. Doof was actually a great dad. In Season 3, Episode 24, when a guy on a motorcycle flirts with Vanessa, Doofenshmirtz immediately steps in. His goofy demeanor drops as he firmly protects his daughter, showing he takes her safety seriously, even if she rolls her eyes.
Hey, sweetheart, how'd you like to take a ride on a real bike?
She's 16!
Also in Season 3, Episode 24, Doof takes Vanessa camping. It was meant to be quality time, but when she asks for space, he still sticks close by. It's clear he just doesn't want her to be alone in the woods, even if it makes him look overbearing.
What? And leave my little girl all alone in the wilderness? No way!
Dad, I'm not your little girl anymore. Look at me, I'm 16 years old. 16!
That's practically an adult.
In Season 1, Episode 22, Doof tries to throw Vanessa a sweet 16 party. Everything goes wrong, but the effort stands out. From decorations to cake, he genuinely tries to give her a special day, even if he has no clue what teenagers like.
So what do you think? It's for my daughter Vanessa's birthday. I try to throw her a party every year.
In Season 2, Episode 19, Doof proudly reacts when she admits she took a doll from a little girl. It's not exactly ideal parenting, but he's clearly thrilled just to share something mischievous with her.
So you just took it from the little girl and left her there crying? Wow, that is evil. Honey, I am so proud of you!
In Season 2, Episode 19, Doofenshmirtz goes on a quest to find a rare doll named Mary McGuffin that Vanessa loved as a child, thinking it will be a heartfelt surprise. Vanessa, however, is a teenager now and expects something more age-appropriate, like a car.
In my hand, I hold the key to...
My new car!
No, your happiness!
In Season 3, Episode 24, Doof takes Vanessa on a camping trip for some father-daughter bonding. While playing Skiddly Whiffers, Vanessa runs into trouble when bees surround her. Doof rushes in without hesitation, fighting them off in his usual chaotic way.
You leave my baby girl alone!
Dad, what are you doing here? It's dangerous!
Really?
During the special Summer Belongs to You episode, Doof travels to Paris to see Vanessa, who's vacationing with her mother. Despite being caught up in his own subplot, he makes the effort to find her in a foreign city just to spend time together.
Oh, come on, Vanessa. I came halfway around the world to get you.
Halfway?
Yeah, halfway around the world.
You met me halfway.
I suppose you could put it that way.
Also in Summer Belongs to You, Vanessa helps her dad escape captivity by using a hairdryer as a fake weapon and admits she has a bit of his villainous side. Doof doesn't criticize her, he beams with pride.
This is a hairdryer?
Yeah, I got it in Tokyo.
Cool, but they didn't know it was a hairdryer when you pointed it at them, so that means you're a little evil.
Okay, Dad, maybe I'm a little evil.
I knew it! It's okay. I'm not gonna cry.
Dad.
Doofenshmirtz's ex-wife. Doof and Charlene are divorced, but they actually get along surprisingly well. Charlene is calm, smart, and very practical, basically the opposite of Heinz. She doesn't show much emotion, and it's often hard to tell what she's thinking. Even though they're no longer together, they still co-parent Vanessa and work as a team when needed. Charlene never really supported Heinz's evil career. Doof and Lindana relationship. Doofenshmirtz and Linda actually went on a date once, back when they were in college. It didn't go well. She later described it as the most boring night of her life. For Doof, though, it seemed like a regular date that just didn't work out. Creation of Doofenshmirtz. Doofenshmirtz was made as a joke version of Bond villains and crazy scientists. He was meant to act like the kind of bad guy you see in old cartoons, with big plans, weird machines, and silly speeches. But what made him different was the sad stuff in his life. He wasn't just evil. He had real problems, like being ignored as a kid and always failing. That made people feel a little sorry for him. Dan Povenmire, one of the show's creators, is the voice of Doofenshmirtz. His voice gave the character a funny, strange way of talking, sometimes loud and excited, sometimes calm and awkward. That style became a big part of what made Doof so funny. His look also helped sell the joke. He wore a lab coat, had messy hair, and stood all hunched over. Even though he was meant to be silly, Doofenshmirtz ended up becoming one of the most interesting characters in the show. A bad guy with strange ideas and plans that always fail. Even when his machines break or his plans go wrong, he keeps going. He wants his daughter to be proud of him. That's what makes him special.
Okay, Dad, maybe I'm a little evil.
I knew it! It's okay. I'm not gonna cry.
Dad.